Reading the Bible with Loke. What episode? Not sure. My accounting is not that on point. I can only remember at the time I upload because I look at the previous one. So, anyway, First Chronicles 10, verse 1. Now, the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from them and fell slain on Mount Gilboa. The Philistines followed closely after Saul and his sons and overtook them. And the Philistines killed Jonathan, Abinah, Malchi, the sons of Saul. The battle became heavy against Saul, and the archers found him. And he was wounded by the archers. Then Saul said to his armor bearer, "Draw your sword and run me through with it. Otherwise, these Philistines will come and abuse me and humiliate me." But his armor bearer would not, for he was terrified. So Saul took his own sword and fell on it. When his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he also fell on his own sword. So Saul died with his 3 sons, and all of those of his house died together. Damn. Okay, when all the men of Israel who were in the valley saw that the army had fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their cities and fled. And the Philistines came and lived in them. What? Okay. I only say that because, like when David smashed Bathsheba, it was like he went in there and then he went in here and there. So I was like, what y'all doing? Y'all saw that y'all done lost? Y'all done ran in the house? All right, but that wasn't the case. It came about the next day when the Philistines came to strip the slain. Okay, so take what they had left, see what remains, see what we can use, see what we can take to the flea market. And that's when they fall Saul and his sons. So they stripped Saul, took his head and his armor, and sent messengers around the land of the Philistines to bring the good news to their idols and to the people. They put Saul's armor in the house of their gods, and nailed up his head in the temple of Dagon. Let me say that was disgusting. You know they ain't had no taxidermy back then and all like that. You can't keep a dead head. I don't know, whatever. When all Jabesh Gilead heard about everything that the Philistines had done to Saul, all the brave men arose, took away the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons, and brought them to Jabesh. And they buried their bones under the oak in Jabesh. Then they fasted 7 days. Okay. So Saul died for his trespass, which he committed against the Lord, for his failure to keep the word of the Lord, facts, and also because he consulted a medium. Yup, remember that. And did not inquire of the Lord instead, facts. Therefore the Lord killed him and turned the kingdom over to David, the son of Jesse, my man. Then all Israel gathered to David at Hebron. I always kind of 50-50 on that. Saying, "Behold, we are your bone and your flesh." In times past, even when Saul was king, it was you who led out and brought in Israel. And let the Lord your God say to you, "You shall shepherd my people Israel, and you shall be prince and leader over my people Israel." So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron and made a covenant. So the Amplified Bible has solemn agreement. Yeah, put something in right. We got you, David. We're gonna put something in right to let you know we got you. We're gonna put it in right. With them, okay. Put it in right. If you really, all right. With them, they're before the Lord, and they anointed him king over Israel in accordance with the word of the Lord through Samuel. Then David and all Israel went to Jerusalem. That is Jebus. And the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the lands, they were there. They ain't gonna cause them problems already. Let's see. Then the Jebusites said to David, "You shall not come in here," trying to cause problems. But David captured the stronghold of Zion, that is, the city of David. Now David said, "Whoever strikes down a Jebusite will be first chief and commander." Dang. Joab, David's half sister, went up first and mobbed him. He was made chief. They lived in the stronghold, so it was called the city of David. He built the city around it, from the Millo to the surrounding area. The Millo, and it's got parentheses fortification, to the surrounding area, and all of Job repaired the rest of the city, the old Jebusite. David became greater and greater, for the Lord of hosts was with him. It not only successful people, but successful as far as in their walk with God, um, in their prayer and their giving. They just become greater and greater. It's there's just no stop. It's just they can't even help it. It's just the unit. I'm telling you, it's man. And I'll give my own testimony once I feel a little more comfortable about it. But it's something you can't stop. It's like it's a downhill. Uh, it's all downhill. Like it's an easy stroll, straight up. Um, Now these are the chiefs of David's mighty men, who strongly supported him in his kingdom, together with all Israel, to make him king, in accordance with the word of the Lord concerning Israel. This is the list of David's mighty men: Jashobeam, the son of Hakmonites, the chief of the 30 heroes. He lifted up his spear against 300 whom he had killed at one time. Yeah, because that's easy. 300 people, one spear. Like, next to him was Eleazar. Could you even kill 300 people with like a Draco? I don't know enough about guns and stuff. All right. Next to him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, who was one of 303 mighty men. The reason I say that is because it doesn't matter when the God's with you. It could be a knife, butter knife, 2 toothpicks, floss. All right. He was with David at Poseidon, where David had killed Goliath. Oh, David killed Goliath where at? Poseidon. Poseidon. Posad. Posda. Postamim. Postamim. David killed Goliath at Postamim. Interesting. I'm gonna go with that. I like that. Postamim. He was with David at Postamim, where David had killed Goliath, and there the Philistines were gathered together for battle. And there was a plot of ground full of barley, and the people fled before the Philistines. Huh? Okay. Let's go back. Let me make sure. Okay, next thing was so we're going down the ranks. We're naming off people. This is what he did. This is what he did, and then he was with David. Okay, he gathered there for battle. Okay. But they took their stand in the midst of the plot and defended it and killed the Philistines, and the Lord rescued them by a great victory. 3 of 30 chief men went down to the rock of David into the cave of Adullam, where the army of the Philistines were camped in the valley of Rephaim. I feel like I'm getting caught up. I don't want to go over time. Yeah, I am. All right, let's keep going on. I just like David. I like David. Um, I mean, David just seems like a real guy, a real, authentic. David was in the strong. David was then in the strong. I could just relate to some of the shit he did. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Y'all want me to stay home? What I'm supposed to do? All right. 3 of the 30 chief men went down to the rock of David into the cave of Adullam, while the army was camped in the valley of Rapham. I'm gonna go a little bit more. David was then in the stronghold, while the garrison of the Philistines was in Bethlehem. Let's look up garrison, and we'll probably end it right there. I have an idea of what it means. Well, let's get some clarification on that. And obviously, I like words, and I like clarification on words. Okay, garrison, a military post. Troops stationed at a garrison. It's the transitive verb to station troops in, to assign, to occupy with troops. So the troops were ready. David had a craving and said, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well of Bethlehem, which is next to the gate." Come on, man. How many times you done had a craving for something, man? You think that's normal? You think you just got that on your own? Or you think somebody put that there? Yeah. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's deeper. It's deeper. It makes me think now, like, when you be like, oh, I need a trip. Like, who you think put that inside of you? Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? That trip is so, because, look, all right. Reading the Bible with Lokes. We'll let, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited because we're reading about David. Next time. Thanks, guys.